We are now going to start with Chapter 3, Coordinate Geometry. Coordinate geometry is that branch of maths which deals with representation of points on a two-dimensional plane or a coordinate plane. Now you have already seen how to represent integers and rational numbers on a number line. That is, you have 0 in the center, and to the right hand side of 0 you have all positive integers, and to the left hand side of 0 you have all negative integers. You have also learnt how to insert rational numbers or fractions in between these integers, and even irrational numbers like square root of 2, square root of 3, etc. You have learnt how to plot on the number line. But now we are going to discuss how to represent points on a plane. Plane is a two-dimensional surface. Let's say, for example, surface of a paper or a room. So all these are planes, and how you will represent points on a plane is what we are going to discuss now. So to visualize, if you imagine a classroom setup like this. Now if you want to describe the position of a student sitting on this bench, you need 2 points of references. That is, the classroom is divided into horizontal rows as well as vertical columns. So you have to specify not only the row but also the column in which the student is sitting. So you need 2 points of references. That is, now here if you see, the student is in the second column and he is in 4th row. So that is his position, which you will describe with respect to 2 points. Now this position is with respect to the teacher who is over here. Now if the position of the teacher changes and if she comes here, then position of the student with respect to her will also change. Now from this side if you see, the student will be in second row and in second column. So the coordinates change. The position of the student is not changing, but if the point of reference changes, then the position of the student with respect to the point of reference changes. So you also need to define with respect to which point you are describing its position. So you have 2 perpendicular lines like this. One is a horizontal line, another is a vertical line, and the point of intersection is the point of reference with respect to which you will be describing the position of all points in this plane, and that point will be known as the origin. And these axes, that is the horizontal and perpendicular lines, these are known as x-axis and y-axis. So this is how the coordinate plane or the Cartesian plane looks like. It has one x-axis. Now this is nothing but the number line which you have already learnt. It has 0 in the center and it has positives on the right hand side and negatives on the left hand side. This is the y-axis, which is having positive integers above it and negatives below it. So x and y axis are basically 2 mutually perpendicular number lines. They are perpendicular and the point of intersection, that is where they meet, that point is known as origin and written as O. So let's see what all we have seen. 2 number lines mutually perpendicular to each other are called axis. Horizontal one is called x-axis and vertical one is called y-axis. Both these lines are in the same plane known as the xy plane or the coordinate plane, or also known as Cartesian plane. Now the perpendicular distance of a point from the y-axis is called the x-coordinate or abscissa. The perpendicular distance of a point from x-axis is called y-coordinate or ordinate. So let's go back. That is, now this is the x-axis. Suppose that the point is somewhere here. This is the point. Now this perpendicular distance from the x-axis, this will be the y-coordinate, that is 1. And perpendicular distance from the y-axis, this distance is 3, that is your x-coordinate. That is the meaning. Now, abscissa of every point on the y-axis is 0. Ordinate of every point on x-axis is 0. Now it means if any point is lying on the y-axis, this axis, its perpendicular distance from here will be 0. So, x-coordinate of this point will be 0. Y-coordinate can be anything. It can be 1, it can be 1.5, it can be 2, anything. But the x-coordinate always will be 0. Same way, if a point is lying on x-axis, its y-coordinate will be always 0. The axes intersect at a point called origin, and the coordinates of the origin are 0, 0. So this is the origin. Now at origin, neither you have any coordinates of y-axis nor of x-axis, both are 0. As we move towards this side, x-coordinate increases. As we move above, y-coordinate increases. If we are going down, y is becoming negative. If we are moving towards left hand side this way, then x is becoming negative. Now, this coordinate plane is divided into 4 portions by the x and y axis. This one is known as quadrant 1. So these portions are known as quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. Now quadrant 1 has both x and y values as positive. X coordinate is also positive and y coordinate is also positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In the third quadrant, both x and y are negative, and in fourth quadrant, x is positive but y is negative. Always we denote x coordinate as the first point and second point is the y coordinate. That is why it is shown as minus plus. Minus plus means x is negative and y is positive. Plus minus means x is positive, y is negative. Plus plus means both x and y are positive, and minus minus means both x and y are negative. And the quadrant will go in this direction: 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now coordinates of a point can be written as an ordered pair. Now ordered pair means a set of 2 points which is written as bracket x, y. This is the general way in which you denote the coordinates. Now here x is the x coordinate, also known as abscissa. Y is y coordinate, also known as the ordinate.